Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Karunisa Jamal, and today I'll be presenting on the effects of the rise of China to Southeast Asia countries. So the rise of China might have been perceived as a threat, especially to the other one hegemonic state, United States of America, but it does not measure or represent the whole world response. Surprisingly, some scholars have claimed that the most affected area in the world by the rise of China is of course Southeast Asia, but they are friendly and receptive towards China's rise. So the response of Southeast Asia countries have always been the question mark for other countries. It is because of the history of relationship between China and countries in Southeast Asia, especially when China was the biggest supporter of communist group back then in 1960. However, China has managed to re-establish its relationship with Southeast Asia countries since the end of Cold War and 1989 Tiananmen Square incident, where China has implemented a policy orientation that aims to strengthen regional relations so as to be surrounded by benevolent state. The new impression given by China has led to the parallel orientation for ASEAN too. One of the issues that has been the controversial point about the response of Southeast Asia countries towards the China's rise is the security issue. This issue is originally come from the issue of South China Sea. With regard to the dispute of this controversial sea, every parties and countries involved encourage a peaceful international environment and discouraging the use of violence. The issue about the credibility of China to be consistent of its commitment of self-restraint has been the most popular question in the 2002 Declaration on the Conduct of Parties in the South China Sea (DOC). There are few factors that make the Southeast Asians are in the state of fear looking at China's expansionism. Firstly, it is because of China has become hegemonic state and one of the international power. Secondly, it is because of the development of China's military. The statement made by China is totally interesting, where it states that they do not want to bring or discuss the dispute over South China Sea on the ASEAN level. Let them settle or work on the solution of the dispute with the individual claimant countries. This is because of the role of ASEAN or international organization in general, nothing than promoting mutual peace and agreement using a non-violent way. According to China's ambassador to ASEAN, ASEAN could be a facilitator to promote mutual trust, but it should not make itself a party to the dispute since it is definitely not the best way in finding solution. The statement is totally a relief for other Southeast Asian countries when it tells us that China is not going to bring any harm. Instead, they want to settle it peacefully. However, ASEAN countries have so far brought different views of China, which complicates ASEAN's common stand towards it. The second one is about the economic issues. It is undoubtedly true that China's economic growth has been one of the elements that has been taken as a threat for Southeast Asia countries. As what is known by everyone, having a stable economy is always a tacit opportunity or chance to have power over other countries. However, the doubt and feelings of fear towards China has ended since the establishment of the ASEAN-China Free Trade Area (ASEAN-FTA), which came into force on 1 January 2010, and this is the initiative proposed by China to enhance every party's economic growth after the Asian financial crisis. The ASEAN-FTA serves important political goals, especially in terms of confidence building, when China offers ASEAN countries an early harvest package. This is to prioritize ASEAN countries to have access to China's market before other World Trade Organization (WTO) countries. After years of enjoying and believing the benefits of ASEAN-China Free Trade Area (ASEAN-FTA), the fear of China's credibility is again coming from the Southeast Asian countries. China's action to participate in the World Trade Organization (WTO) has been the trigger point which can redirect the foreign direct investment towards China. Another two concerns were about if their market will be filled with China's cheap products and unable to access the low tariff to major export markets. However, it is also important to note that China's economic growth can drive Southeast Asia economies too, as it has become the engine that drives Southeast Asia countries back then when they were suffering with financial crisis, especially when China has a high local and foreign investment and also its developed tourism sector. The third one is the normative issues. The influence and interference of Western hegemony like European Union (EU) and United States (US) in ASEAN ASEAN has been the real factor of why Southeast Asia countries always have doubt in China. Advantage for them because they exist earlier than China. The Western hegemony know that they have the trust of the countries all over the world. Therefore, they can make use of it for their own interests. They are the ones who perceive China as a threat because their status will be triggered by the existence of China politically, economically, or militarily. One clear example to show their interference in ASEAN's atmosphere is during the Tiananmen Square incident. The United States and European Union brought pressure on ASEAN to take a more strict strategies to avoid China's interference in pressuring Burma to withdraw from 1997 ASEM. China unable to do anything other than supporting and agreed upon ASEAN's principle of non-interference. However, surely there are so many Southeast Asia countries that hope China can play its role as one of the international major power. Interestingly, China came out with its 5 principles of peaceful coexistence, which were drafted by Zhou and Lai in 1995. China and ASEAN share kind of similar principles and attitudes, especially in democracy and human rights that help them to be united. Other than sharing the same principles and values, they also share strategic preferences. ASEAN and China strive for a multipolar world, and they want to live without the influence of Western hegemony while embracing regional stability. Cooperation between China and ASEAN contributed hugely to ASEAN's success in winning China's approval for and commitment to its regional efforts.